Hello, Future Trevor. Currently, I am on Vashel Island. It is the 4th of July. You can kind of see some white and red I got going on. Yeah, I'm excited to check out this island, although it is very out of the way of the actual city around, and it's basically just an uphill for the entire time. And to make sure I get back in time to spend the 4th with the coons, I'm just sitting here chilling and taking some time to actually think, meditate, and having this be my final video journal for myself for my internship. Yeah, I officially leave internship in 3 days. I'm really excited about it. Yeah, with internship, one of my big things that when I think about the whole thing is that I kind of did what I really set out to accomplish. I made a list of goals for internship, and I think I pretty much accomplished each one of them. I've explored the Pacific Northwest pretty darn well. I mean, that's not evident from where I'm sitting right now. Other parts about it is that what would it be? I got to work out a lot. I really enjoyed that. I got to eat a lot better. That was great. I read 3 out of the 4 books, which I'm actually saying is a win, because I'll finish that 4th one up on my trip. I get to, what would be some of the other big ones? Oh yeah, one of the other big ones would be that I made 5 friends. That was a goal I almost shot down and didn't want to do. But after talking to Claire, Chris, Serena, Jamie, and Jared, and even their subsequent friends of that, it's been really cool. Loneliness has definitely been an odd idea where it's always present, but not necessarily always pressing. And that's something that I hope to be able to fix, partially by being back home or close to St. Louis and then moving to Atlanta, hopefully by planting my feet somewhere. I'm really nervous about Peachtree City and the lack of young people there. I am, yeah, just being in some place where I'm actually able to plant my feet and grow. That's what's really exciting to me. I've been moving around so much this past, I'd probably call it 3 years, that I kind of haven't any real reason to remember anyone's name. But yeah, that's something that I am really looking forward to, and hopefully I think I want to go back to actual journaling. These video logs were really supposed to help me with me being in front of a camera. I think I did pretty well at that by the end. I don't really know or care how I'm doing right now, which I probably should, because that's the whole reason I'm doing this. And I probably should write this one down as well. I think that'd be a good idea. But yeah, also this is definitely my least planned out one, partially because I wasn't planning on doing one of these for the 4th of July. The other thought that, one of the other thoughts I had about goals for internship was, I would say I had 2 failures. These 2 failures are definitely more important than any of the other goals that I had combined. It's that I would say my faith has gotten more shaky, and that my porn addiction is, if not where it started, but even worse. It's really hard being someplace on your own, constantly having downtime and constantly having temptation, and especially not being in a relationship and just really wanting it. It's just really hard, and I've gotten to the point now where I don't even like doing it. I don't even think it's fun in the moment. It's almost more of a dopamine chore, which is really sad, and it's probably one of the worst spots that I'd say I can get to. I really want to quit it. For me, it sounds so cool to be over that. It feels so good whenever I have a good streak. I get so happy. But recently I've just kind of not cared about it. And the other spot of my faith is that the book Andrew had was a really good one. I probably talked about that before, but Jesus Interrupted was phenomenal. It was really good. I was reading one of the best books I could find for counter arguments against evolution and the whole Big Bang, or just support for Christianity is definitely the bigger part of the book. It was just so wordy though. Like that was just not fun. And that's probably why I consider reading 3 out of 4 books a win, is because this one book was it's killer. It's just not up my alley. I don't have the smarts in a lot of things, and especially reading a dense scientific book is not up my style. So that's one thing that I really am hoping to go and get fixed. And so maybe I'm being too hard on myself for actually going and completing most of my actual set and written goals. But the two that I care about that weren't written were things that I would like to actually improve on. Yeah, I don't know. I found myself being less and less content with things, especially as I've gone through internship, specifically with money, but just in most aspects of my life too. Comparing myself to other people, not seeing many of the good qualities that I tend to have, as well as, yeah, with money. Let's go back to money. Money, especially with student debt, is where it's kind of my bottom line, where I'm like, if I just get rid of my student debt, I'm going to be so happy. And I am not thrilled about my following steps that I've taken after that, because I'll tend to be like, oh, then then I will get a house and I'll get to do X, Y, and Z, and I get to then I would say have girls over and people over and friends over and have it be a good place for everybody. And then after that, I get to save up and get a boat or something. And I don't know, it's something that I would like it if it was a lot more positive about that. Like, once I get to the stage in my life, just more fun things happen. But now it's just kind of an itch. I find myself constantly going on my calculator, seeing how much money I have to kill the student loans, and then how much money I'd be able to have a house, which, I don't know, maybe good to some extent, but I don't find myself looking for peace. I find myself looking for the next thing. And that's something that I wouldn't say it is the way that I like it to be. Yeah, also finding a girlfriend has been definitely diminished on my priority list. It's something that I am really excited to go and to have, but having a year alone, like I talked about, the loneliness is not something that is super pressing, which is kind of cool. I have loved having a bunch of 30-year-old friends who are all single, and them just constantly being surprised that I'm 23. I think that's a nice compliment most of the time. But then also that not having to have it figured out. Time to really love enjoying being single and independent, and I'm able to come to this island and sit on a rock and not have to worry about another party, because I feel like this would suck, but I really am enjoying part of the alone time. But yeah, even though that's gone less on my scale, it is something that I do really want to find. And specifically with Michaela, is something that I feel like I've come to a lot of terms with. Let's say 80%, which is really good. But that being said, coming to terms with that, meaning that she is just one person I got away, doesn't mean I want to just drop it. And so for my big L-shaped trip across the United States this summer, I am swinging up to Colorado, and we'll place a Green Army Man and a boat sticker somewhere where she will see it. And that could be a really terrible idea from now. And I can only dream of what she might say and how ticked she'll get. But at the same time, I think it's important to be bold and to not have any regrets. This is one that I definitely want to make and want to feel excited about, and do feel excited about that. I don't know. When I said to her that I loved her, I really meant it when the definition I had was that I would do anything, like the whole time. And so that was a form of a promise in itself, and I really try and stick to my promises, especially promises to myself. So even though she has made it clear that she doesn't see a future, I do. And I will go with my gut over hers. I will try and walk the line as much as I can of not being a stalker. But, well, I'm not stalking, but I don't know. It's a tricky fine line, and I hope that I can walk it well and continue to give her faith and for another chance. Yeah, I'm not content with how much I put my lust over my love. That's something that I really want to go and be. That's a core value for me that I think before I die, I need to be able to say that I beat this. That's a good standard to hold myself to. I have good friends that will hold me accountable, but I got to put in the work too. Yeah, cool. Here's to finally being a DC and to having the real challenge begin.